The Midwest, home sweet home in good old Indiana. Place of small towns, cozy families gathered together, and fields of corn and rustic woods. But, like any town, there is a dark underbelly that often goes unnoted. We are part of that darkness. We lurk in the shadows to bring you the best in horror, metal, and stories of the grotesque. This is Blood in the Cornfields. All right, welcome in, cellar dwellers. As always, I am Mark.
I'm Ivy.
And we are Blood in the Cornfields. Excited for this episode.
Yes.
I know we say that every single time because we are.
This is a real treat, and we got
This one is a
Christmas
treat.
coming up, which I usually don't look forward to, but you know what? I got a kid now, so.
Yeah, and we have like 12 inches of snow going on, like literally outside.
And it's still going strong now.
Absolutely. So we're totally excited to have our two guests with us. So the fact that I don't butcher it, I always throw it to our guests to kind of do an intro because you'll probably do it better than me. But if you guys don't mind introducing yourselves, ball's in your court. Take it away.
Yeah. So I'm Lydia Hicks.
And I'm James.
And we run the YouTube channels The Simpsons Theory and Lydia Loves Timelines. And on The Simpsons Theory, we talk all things about The Simpsons. So recently, during Halloween, we had a big Treehouse of Horror month where we do kill counts. We also do character deep dives, timelines of the show. And we've written 2 books all about The Simpsons called Collected The Simpsons and The Simpsons Theory. And we've been doing that for the past 5 years.
Oh, wow.
Nice. Got this one. This one came in for my husband's Christmas present the year that it was released. So we really appreciated that.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
We love doing that one.
Because we did that with Warren Evans, and he has the biggest and most amazing collection possible.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
It was mostly all of his collection, and we bought a few extra bits and bobs, but yeah.
He knew a very talented photographer as well that photographed them really well. And we just loved that it kind of gave the toys their own personality, which is quite quirky. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, congratulations to you guys for getting a book published, many books published. Yes. That's awesome.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about both of you. Kind of just with the Simpsons Theory and some of the other stuff that you do, but just tell us, our audience, give us a little background if they're not really familiar with you, about what you both do.
Yeah. So I started YouTube completely randomly. I came from I was a flight attendant for British Airways, and then I went into marketing when COVID happened, and then James was I'll let James introduce himself, but James was basically the one that said, let's start a YouTube channel. Aww. So our relationship was plunged into becoming co-workers as well. But it has worked really well. Separately, what am I into? God. I don't really have, I do have a personality, but
of course you do.
Yeah. I've got a kid now. That's my personality.
Yay, congratulations to
your personality changes once you become a parent.
Yeah.
There's other things that you're into or that take up big chunks of your life that were just not there before.
Yep.
Totally. Yeah. And I feel like my priorities have changed. And since writing, I think that's really dabbled into my creative side again, which is nice.
That's awesome.
And obviously doing YouTube's very creative. And I did do a bit of location marshalling on film sets before settling down into YouTube. So that kind of put me off working on films for life because it was a very cliquey environment. But
yeah, that was the same for me as well, because we both have degrees in film production from university.
Okay.
But obviously when we met, we didn't actually know that until on our first date. We both had the same degree.
Yeah.
And then we both worked on films. I worked on the Avengers and a few other film sets.
Whoa.
Man, just a small movie, tiny.
Right?
You got to touch Captain America's shield, didn't you?
Yeah, all the props were laid out on the table. So when no one was looking, I touched the shield. I touched Thor's hammer. So yeah.
Dude, no.
That's cool.
So cool.
Not euphemism.
No.
Either way, I'd be totally stoked.
Same.
Whatever.
So yeah, but I think because we've always wanted to just tell stories, and I think actually working on a film set kind of crushed that a little bit, because unless you're like the director or a big actor, working on a film set for like 17 hours every day is not the most nicest thing.
Yeah, or glamorous.
Most glamorous thing, and it's really difficult.
Yeah.
But we always wanted to tell stories. So when we did our YouTube channel, as kind of our outlet for like analyzing stuff, basically putting out like our degrees to use.
Like what you guys do. Like, it's nice that having a voice is so accessible now.
Yeah.
You don't have to work through that hierarchy of like the film industry world.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then writing our novel was our way of like getting our story out, basically.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know we'll get into it later because I luckily was able to start reading it. I'm on chapter 17 right now. When you were talking just a little briefly about, your experiences in the film world, I'm like, I see all of that in that book and I love it. My husband and I have worked on film sets as well, but they've always been like small productions, nothing ever big. But you can see little glimpses of that. And I can't imagine what it's like on a larger scale. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Totally.
Yeah, especially with like the clicks and stuff like that. But we'll get into that later because Jennifer is something and I want to talk about her, but not give anything away. So you co-wrote this book with your husband, with you two together, but what was it like to work together as a couple? And you've worked, of course, on previous books. It sounds like a lot of your relationship is based on, co-writing and co-working together. But what is that like, and how would you give any tips for other couples that are planning on working on bigger productions or collaborating together?
Yeah.
I think we were together for about 3 years before we started our YouTube channel. We were it's when the Simpsons came on Disney Plus for the first time.
Okay.
And then we were just having fun, like, we thought Barney looked a bit like Nelson, and we thought like, that could make a funny video. And then we just made it. And then like, we never thought it would turn into a job, basically. It was just meant to be like a little hobby.
Yeah.
And we were doing that. We were working because even though it was COVID, I was still working full time as well. And then when lockdown ended, Lydia was working full time for BA, and then a marketing job after that. So we were working like basically 2 jobs.
Oh, wow.
And but working together has always been really easy because we complement each other. Like I can't write without her working on it because I think I'm quite good at just getting everything down on the paper, and Lydia comes and just makes it 100 times better and just strengthens everything. It's the same with for example, with the book. We've been working on this for maybe about 4 years.
Oh, wow.
And I had the idea for a while. So I just got as much of it down on paper as much as I could. And then I did as much as I could until I hit a wall. And then Lydia came in, and then she like just strengthened the characters, strengthened the writing, the scenery and stuff. So I'm like getting the plot on there, and then Lydia comes and just tightens it up. But one thing I would recommend is that, well, first and foremost, not only is Lydia my wife, we're also best friends, and the relationship always comes first. So normally we don't really have any disagreements, but when we do, it's always like just creatively, where like we don't think this would work, and the other thinks, it would work. But we've never had any like arguments and stuff like that, because we've always known that if it ever comes too much of an issue, we would just drop it because our relationship is more important. But I think it's because we complement each other.
Yeah, because I think it did start out quite hard for me because I didn't do any voiceover work or anything beforehand. So at the beginning, James would show me the videos for us to look through and to edit. And I would be quite defensive about it. I was like, are you showing me these because my voiceover's bad? Like, I need to work on it more? And he was like, no, I'm just showing you because we need to edit. And I'm just like, I don't know. I think at the beginning, I just kind of had to like be a bit more confident in what I was doing. And then be like, I don't know, we just need to work a bit more cohesively. But
you have to take your egos out of it, because sometimes when because we both work on scripts together, and then Lydia edits it. So Lydia records them, and then I edit them. And then when we watch them, we always watch them back together. And then Lydia would be like, I think you should add this bit here. And I'd just be like, that's going to take me ages.
Oh, no.
And then I do it, and I'm like, you know what? I'm glad I did that. It's 100 times better because I did that.
Yeah, it's never like serious like arguments or things, but like it's just you're always looking at like that will make something better, and then we have a separate office from the rest of our house, and then as soon as we close that door, we're like, okay, that's work time over now.
Yeah.
Aw, that's good. And that's so healthy to have too, is that communication, being open with each other. Luke and I, so Luke edits everything. He's like our producer. He does everything. He even edits a lot of our, so we do reviews for Devil Tale magazine. And I typically write them. You send me in your thoughts.
I send you my jargon. I send her like grumble and just blah, 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 blah. And then she makes it classy because I'm not. And so she'll rework it and make it a lot more structured. But kind of like you were saying, like I'm an idea guy. Yeah. That's what I do. Like I'm good at coming up with names and clever ideas and out of the box thinking. So I'll give her a lot of those like witty points or, a weird perspective. And then she kind of takes it and then writes it a little bit more legible. And
you're the funny guy. Like I don't know if I'm funny, but like you're funny. And
my goal is to make you pee on an episode. I've gotten her close. I've gotten her close twice, but
like Luke will read through my rough draft, and then he does all the editing because he used to work in newspapers. So I'm like, oh, perfect.
Yeah,
you know exactly what I'm doing, and also because my husband also has a film major and theatrical major as well. He knows exactly what he needs to do to edit. I couldn't do this podcast by myself. We couldn't do this podcast.
No, absolutely not. It'd be terrible.
Yeah.
We would have quit after 4 episodes. Yeah. But I was going to say the when you were explaining that to me, the thing that truly I think all successful couples need to have is a yin and a yang, a balance. What you're good at, I'm not good at. What I'm not good at, you're good at. That sort of thing. And it seems like you all definitely have that because, doing information about you guys, it's like I found out like how much stuff you guys do together. And that's really cool because you don't necessarily always find that. I look back in my memory bank of episodes we've done, and I don't think we've come across that. But that's really cool. I can identify that. The relationship, my girlfriend, we've never argued. We've been together like 4 years, never even had one argument. I think it's about respect and understanding. And like you said, if it's too serious and it were to, kind of get you guys going, scrap it.
Yeah.
So I think that's really cool.
Yeah. That's awesome. I'll go ahead and let you.
Oh, sure.
Ask the next question.
So what inspired you all to write a horror novel? And then on top of that, if you could give like a brief synopsis, so those who, haven't read it or don't know much about it.
Okay. So the synopsis is, sorry, our fan was going on.
That's all right.
The story follows a washed up 80s screen queen who joins a low budget reboot of an old horror franchise. But when filming begins inside of an abandoned Christmas theme park, she realizes that the on-set kills are horrifyingly real. As the cameras roll, the blood starts flowing, and it's not corn syrup this time.
That's cool.
We've been wanting to write. Well, we've always wanted to write a novel, even before we met each other. I think we both always wanted to write a book. And you can see from our show, it's got all Stephen King there, and then that's all. We got Michael Myers mask over there, Jason figures, Freddy figures. But I think like all 90s kids, my first exposure to horror was not only Treehouse of Horror, but also Goosebumps. So I used to read the books, but also like the TV show I was obsessed with. And I just always wanted to write in that genre because I think you can have the most fun with it.
Yeah. There's so many different sides you can take horror as well, isn't there? It's it can be campy, super gory, meta, like it says a social message. Like I think when I went to university, I studied like Stepford Wives and Rosemary's Baby, and then we looked at like how those related to like those issues occurring in those times. And it wasn't until I met James where I realized that horror could be fun as well. Like I used to watch horrors as a child to be scared. Like my mum would show me The Others, which is the film that like it's probably like James like disses me. He's like, that's not a horror film.
No, it is a horror film.
It is a horror film, but it's I don't know. It's not that sophisticated, I guess.
No.
But James showed me like Friday the 13th, and
they're not sophisticated.
No, they're not sophisticated, but they're more fun. It's like a different side of horror, and I didn't realize how versatile a horror could be. So when writing a novel, we're able to have a lot of fun with it that I think a lot of genres wouldn't allow you to have that play with. And I think we cover quite a lot of different genres within the book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because in the book, Jennifer, the main character, she's in the 80s, she used to star in a campy horror franchise called the Evil Elf movies, which are kind of like a play on Leprechaun, really.
Sure.
Like kind of like low budget, not the best type of films. And she starred in like 5 of them. And now she's in her 60s and she's asked to basically return to that franchise because now she's like struggling to find work. She's on a convention circuit. And it was really fun actually just kind of making those old movies on our own, basically making up our own horror franchise. And that was Lydia's. That's what Lydia did, because mine was when I wrote it was quite vague. But Lydia came in and she planned like each installment, like the names, the locations, basically roughly what happens in them.
Yeah, and it's interesting kind of thinking like what would happen if Jamie Lee Curtis wasn't successful, like if you flipped it on the head, and like what would happen to her career, like, and what could she do to revive it. And we think Jennifer is kind of like she's a bit more gritty than Jamie Lee Curtis because she's been hit hard by so many times from Hollywood. But it was just interesting taking that kind of Scream Queen premise and just fleshing her out.
Yeah, absolutely. Reading through it, it has a meta vibe to it, and I love that. I love that this movie, it should be a movie, honestly, but this book is literally, it kind of gives me Scream vibes with the way that you kind of comment on horror movies and like how horror movies inspired other horror movies, especially through the character Vincent. He is a horror nerd through and through. I described him to Mark as it's you and your friend Blake combined.
Which is a pretty cool guy.
Yeah.
That's a pretty rad guy.
Yeah. Like, cause the guy, Vincent, he's got like horror tattoos, like sleeves like Blake used to have, but it's all evil elf tattoos and even has like the Scream Queen Jennifer like on his shoulder. So I'm just like, dude, that's Blake, but he's got your personality.
Awesome.
Yeah, so I love it. But this book is basically like it's about horror nerds for horror nerds. It's like people that respect and understand franchises and stuff like that. They're going to get this book. They're going to understand. Even if they don't, they're just going to enjoy the story because you did such a good job fleshing out each of these characters. And I know we'll talk about them in a bit. But you did a great job on that. Like, it's just, you really gripped me in the story. I feel like I've known some of these people, like, you know, in real life. I don't have much experience working on film sets, but I have enough. But I'd love to know, you know, we'll get into that question, but like where some of those inspirations came from. But yeah.
No, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Okay. So how did you come up with a concept for the book? Excuse me. Sorry, I'm reading horrible notes. We know you talked about that it inspired through Stephen King, but really, you know, go into a little bit of how you all kind of came up with the whole concept of it.
Yeah. Why Christmas themed, which is why I got a Christmas sweater on. But what is it about that like kind of wanted you to, I guess, delve into that part of horror? Because it's not a really super touched on genre of horror, but yet it's there and it's becoming more prevalent now.
I remember watching a YouTube video about abandoned Christmas theme parks in America, and I didn't even know this was a thing, and I didn't realize how many like theme parks dedicated just to Christmas America has. So you can
do a road trip. There's like 8 or something at least.
Yeah, and we want to do that eventually do a road trip and hit all of these theme parks. But yeah, I just saw that and I thought that's such a interesting location for like a movie or a book, because these Christmas parks are meant to be all happy, jolly, like a fun time out with your friends and family. And I just wanted to kind of flip that on its head, because with these videos is that these once thriving Christmas theme parks that were full of like laughing kids is now like just sitting abandoned and empty and rotten and decaying. And like the statues are like falling apart. And it kind of gave it this creepy feel to it that used to be like such a place of like joy,
happiness. Yeah.
And I thought that's such an interesting place to set like a horror film. And this was actually like 2 books originally, because I had an idea where this family was trapped inside a Christmas park. I also had another one where it was kind of the same idea, where the super van locked these celebrities inside of a Friday the 13th cabin. And then made them act out his movie, and then I just kind of combined them, because at the time I was just playing the Friday the 13th game like incessantly. It's probably the most played game I've ever played. I dread to think how many hours I sunk into it, but now it's not around anymore.
No.
Yeah.
I was playing it up until the last day, and then but then I thought kind of cabin camps have kind of been a little bit overdone, and I thought combine it with a Christmas theme park was quite really interesting.
Yeah, I love the way you describe the park too. Just like how the pastel colors, because it's been faded in the sunlight, because it's in Nevada, right? Is that where this story takes place? And poor Jennifer's all from California, so this poor woman's been whisked away.
Because there was an abandoned one in California that was near Nevada line. But that's now since opened up. It was abandoned for years.
Wow.
But now it's an operating theme park. But there was also a town called, I think it was called Santa Claus or Christmas Land in Phoenix. And that was kind of the rough idea. I just like this idea of this Christmas theme park, which is meant to be like all snow and cold inside this barren desert. So I just love that juxtaposition between how hot it is to the actual theme park.
Yeah.
But there's fake snow everywhere.
And that's so cool.
I was going to say, I'm going to jump in and take this off the rails.
Take it off the
So
rails.
you were talking about the Friday the 13th game. Was that the one where you are in the campsite and you run around and you can be Jason too?
Yeah.
It was from like 5 years ago. I have the greatest story. So our podcast is based off of my best friend. He passed away. That's kind of how I met Ivy. But to give that little background, I was playing that game with him once. And he was Jason. And we were running around and I'm like, you can't see me. And I'm like looking through the windows and stuff. And so there's other players in the lobby. So it's just me and Blake, but then it's other players. And so as Jason, he has his kills where you can, like pick him up. So my friend Blake picked the guy up and then just kept walking around with him. And it got so awkward. The guy that's being held by the throat goes, bro, are you going to kill me yet? It was just hilarious. And I'm watching through this window, like giggling because he won't kill him. And he's just like walking around with him outside. It was freaking, it was hilarious. I have so many ridiculous stories. But yeah,
that was such a fun game though.
It's such a fun game. I'm a huge Texas Chainsaw Massacre fan. So the Texas Chainsaw Massacre video game is kind of in the same vein. I'm a little bit mad that you can't be Chop Top, which is my all-time favorite character, but you can still play as Bill Moseley. It's just a created character. But yeah, the Friday the 13th game was so much fun. Because that really kind of kicked off the Dead by Daylight, even the Evil Dead one is kind of like that too. But yeah, I just had to nerd out on that game because I had, the most ridiculous scene in my head as you're describing that game.
Yeah.
It's just a shame the lawsuit just ended things really.
Oh God, yeah.
We can't have fun things. We can't.
No.
Not allowed. But kind of bringing it back to the Tinsel Town, I love this map that you guys created. Like,
my mum did that.
Really? Oh my God.
Yes.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
So as the characters are walking through the book, I will come back to this as reference and I'll just be like, oh, that's where they're at right now. So this is very cool. I love the way it's made up.
That's awesome.
Honestly, whenever I think of like a holiday themed world, I think of Holiday World in Indiana. It's actually in Santa Claus, Indiana.
Yeah.
I heard of that.
Still fully functional. I've been there a couple times in my past, but it's like, instead of just Christmas, which Christmas, of course, is going to be their big one that they're going to advertise, but they have other sections of the park where it's like 4th of July themed, Halloween themed, Thanksgiving themed.
That's cool.
And then I think they have another theme, and I can't remember what it is. But their big other attraction is their water park. I think that's really what's keeping them alive. It's their water park, and the fact that there's a Thanksgiving ride there that is just the most terrifying ride I've ever seen in my life. It's got these 2 big-ass hills, and I'm just like, nope. I don't need to go on the Mayflower. I'm a heathen. I was here before. It's all good. But yeah, and then the other one that's really cool that I rode multiple times, and I hate roller coasters, but it's called the Raven. It's obviously Edgar Allan Poe.
Sure,
I got to support my boy. So like, I've rid that one a couple times, and that one's pretty good. Oh yeah, there's also a Headless Horseman one too, and that one's freaky. I won't ride.
Interesting.
So yeah,
we really need to go.
So do they swap the rides out for each season, or?
Yeah. So each season's all divided out. I think like the Kiddie Land is like in the Thanksgiving or 4th of July area.
Oh, right. Yeah. Divided up. Yeah.
Yeah. But like Halloween is the biggest section besides Christmas. Christmas has more of the kiddie theme rides too. But like the Halloween section has like the most rides, I'd say, because they got the 2 big roller coasters, the Headless Horseman ride and the Raven. And then they got the big carousel. But it's like swings, and it's a beautiful Halloween themed swing, and like it rises up, and then so you see more like witches and other things like that. It's really pretty. You guys need to go.
Yeah,
this is amazing.
Especially when your little one gets a little older, because it's oh my god, it's so much fun when you're a little kid.
Yes. Theme parks in the UK, they're not great. They kind of just focus on the ride and they don't really have much storytelling to it, do they? But
no, but
we're taking her to Disneyland in 2 years, but take it to something spookier, I think.
Yeah, I think we just want to hire an RV and then hit those theme parks in America.
Yeah.
Do the Christmas ones.
That'd be so cool, especially with your book, and like tie it in and like just take video, because that would be so cool. I'd be so excited to see that. That's awesome. Well, getting back into the book, question 5.
Yeah. So in the book, your lead character, Jennifer, is that based off of anyone personally or a mixture of people you know?
And if you can't name names, it's okay.
Sure,
you can allude.
Well, in the first chapter is where you see her at this convention where basically she's down on her luck and stuff, but she's not based on anyone very particular. But the scene where the 2 guests go up to her and she puts the antibacterial gel on their hands quickly afterwards. That was based on when I went to a Star Trek convention and I met Jerry Ryan, and then she quickly put some bacterial gel on her hands. I try not to be too offended, but
she must have got so many sticky hands.
Yeah, I don't blame her, to be honest, but she was actually really nice. But mostly the inspiration for Jennifer came down to Jamie Lee Curtis, and just kind of flipping it where like, because she started in Halloween as a final girl. And she's just become like this huge actress, and we just wanted to flip it where like, what if this talented actress starred in this horror film and then wanted to break away, and then kind of was hoping for a career like Jamie Lee Curtis, but just didn't make it. And like, where would she be now? Would she be bitter? Would she be angry? Would she resent the thing that made her famous in the first place? And we wanted to juxtaposition that with Douglas, who she starred in with those movies. He played the villain, Plucky, the elf. And they're both doing conventions and she hates it, while Douglas loves it. He loves meeting the fans, and he just loves like the experience that he had, while Jennifer is the complete opposite.
Resents it,
yeah.
I love Douglas as a character. Now, I need to ask you this because, like I said, my husband's worked on different sets before, but one of the ones that he's worked on was with our friend Tim Richardson. He's a local film producer and director, and he's done some kind of like silly movies. They're all parodies. Like, so for example, The Throbbit, which is not a porno. The last
Are you sure about that?
Yes. Harvey Putter. And he's done some other like nerdy stuff like that.
Mhm.
And then the most recent one was like his take on Dr. Spiderwick, but it's Dr. Spiderwhack. And anyway, he's worked with Kieran Shaw a lot. Plucky for some reason just gives off Kieran Shaw vibes. Like he's a little person, but like he is just the sweetest man you'll ever meet. He does not want payment. He wants to be there for the fans, and he's like a family man. And I'm like, this man steals my heart. I love him.
Well, and that's realistically how the conventions are.
Yeah.
I go to them all the time, and there's the people that absolutely love it, that interact with you, and that, advertise it on their social media, and they're totally excited about it. And then there's others, and you can feel the energy and see it where it's like, why am I here? Like my career has been reduced to this, where they look at it like that. So, I mean, that's a very real dynamic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because we've been to a few horror conventions as well. And you can tell, like, we always find that who's those guys from Scream? Because
Matthew Lilliard and Steve Ulrich.
Yeah, they love it.
Yeah, they were awesome. Yeah, they took over the Q&A completely. Like there was someone who's supposed to be asking the questions, but they said, we've done this loads of times. We can take it from here. And they were like running in the crowd. And
But yeah, Douglas was loosely based on Warwick Davis. Obviously, because of
Leprechaun. Yeah. Absolutely.
That's so cool. Yeah. Oh, I wasn't sure. I mean, London must be huge. Like, I'm not going to pretend everybody knows each other there, but like, I was like, you guys know Kieran Shaw? Like, are you guys secretly neighbors?
No.
We want to, though. We'll find him.
Yeah. That's cool. I do want to get into some of the characters a little bit. Obviously, no spoilers or anything like that, but just to kind of discuss them for people that are interested in the book. Of course, we talked about Jennifer, Vincent, and Douglas. All awesome people. Johnny, who played Calvin, that guy. So he was Jennifer's, I guess, like her love interest in the film, and he was like this 80s heartthrob, and he took a big plummet.
Yeah.
I hate and love him at the same time. He is such a major douche.
He's really fun to write.
Yeah, he was hard. You had to like a balance act, didn't you?
Yeah.
I was imagining like Johnny Depp in Nightmare on Elm Street, but what would happen if
he did become a megastar?
Yeah.
That's awesome. And then Christy, we don't really know too much. I don't know much about her yet, but she was Jennifer's best friend. She played her roommate in college in one of the films, which, let me say about the films, I love the names of each of them. It's kind of like a play on, Jason Takes Manhattan and stuff like that. But Plucky goes to like New Orleans and Las Vegas and all these other places, but it's like Christmas themed.
That's awesome.
It's pretty cool. But yeah, Christy is kind of rude towards Jennifer, but to be fair, Jennifer was rude towards her. But she has a horror podcast, which I think is pretty cool. Yeah. The Horror Haven, I think it is.
Yeah.
I don't know what to think of her character yet, but we'll see.
Yeah, she's the only one that kind of aged with the franchise. She kind of took advantage of it by getting with the times and creating a podcast. But
and then like I feel like because she's been trying to get Jennifer on the podcast, but obviously when you do podcasts, you typically do it for free. But Jennifer was like, "Yeah, how much are you going to pay me?" So we got that resentment there.
Yeah, and my girl Luna, I love her.
Oh yeah,
we've talked. Lydia, you and I have talked about this. I'm not going to say anything.
Yeah.
But I love Luna. She was the bad girl of the franchise. She kind of had that, God, what's her name from, I could see it, Friday the 13th. She was like kind of the punk chick.
Yeah. I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
The dance scene is what goes off in my head. I can't remember her
She's kind of like that. She's the bad girl, but she's actually real shy and sweet in real life.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. I like her a lot. I want to see how her character develops. I'm not going to say anything, but I love it. I love it.
Yeah, because Christy was kind of like she's like took a different path in life to Jennifer, where Jennifer like basically stayed in Hollywood and tried to make a name for herself. She kind of like went back home and lived a completely different life in this Luna. Is it Luna?
Yeah.
No, Luna. Yeah, lived a completely different life in a small town while Jennifer's like trying to make it as a star. So I like that, how different their lives shifted when they were younger.
Yeah, I think that's really cool. And then Thomas, I love Thomas. Thomas is honestly, all these characters are so good, but Thomas, he's the queer guy and I love him. Oh my God. He's just so cool. But like, he's kind of like Julius from Jason Takes Manhattan. He's like the token black character that like they used in the Evil Elf franchise. And the fact that they made him wear his like 90s outfit, I'm like, that's not nice.
I was really, because James wrote all the dialogue, like basically for the entire book. I hardly had to touch anything because it was incredible, and I loved reading Thomas. He was my favorite character from the beginning to end.
No, you put yourself down a bit. Lydia tightened up pretty much all the dialogue and made it better. Because originally, I don't know if I can spoil anything, but maybe I can't spoil it. No. But she did something between like. Should we say this?
Oh, what, with Christy and Luna? No.
Jennifer and Luna.
I don't know. We don't know what you mean.
No, we'll leave it now.
I think that one thing that was quite funny was at first James wrote Christy as very... Oh, no, I can't say that either. Sorry. Scrap that.
It's all right.
It's okay. It's all good.
It's hard. It's hard to not give everything away because we struggle with that when we talk about movies. You're like, oh, wait,
can't say that. Can't say that.
Yeah, can't say that.
I will say this. It seems like Thomas may be more in tuned and game recognizes game when it comes to Jennifer.
Yes.
I think that's safe to say. And that's going to be for the readers to figure out because I think I have an idea of where it's going and I fucking love it. I'm here for it. I don't want to compare apples to oranges, but it's kind of giving Clown in the Cornfields vibes. If anybody has seen our review or has seen that or read the book, you guys know what I'm getting at. So you guys need to read this book to figure that part out. And then the last character that I want to briefly talk about, it's not Michael. Michael's a nobody right now. That's Vincent's brother.
Oh, okay.
He's helping direct the film with him. But Bob, the gas station guy, you wrote that so well at the gas station.
Thank you.
I really felt I was there. Like I could see it because he's kind of like the crazy guy that don't go there. Bad things happen there. You know, and it's like, oh, you wrote that so well. And just the way you even described him breaking character, I'm like, oh yeah, no, that's the type of guy that would not chew tobacco. He's having an issue.
that was actually the last chapter we wrote. So I think that was our favorite chapter as well.
It was. I think by that time our writing had matured a lot.
Yeah.
And we felt like we needed a bit of action before it like really got to the momentum. And
we wanted to kind of flip a horror stereotype because you always see these gas station people like in basically most
everything
slasher. Yeah. So we wanted to kind of flip it and so yeah, that was a really fun one to write.
And that was the one stereotype we hadn't covered yet. I was like, well, how about the gas station?
Yeah. That was your idea.
No.
Well, you guys tied that in really well. Like it was very well done.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So how did we can singleize this, do it one by one, or together, whatever. But how did each of you get into horror? And then are there any signature movies or any profound memories that kind of got you into all that?
Well, like I said, like originally it was Goosebumps. Used to love Goosebumps, and I devoured the books as well. And same for Treehouse of Horror. That was always my favorite episode of every year, even though I didn't know what they were parodying or what they were talking about. But you didn't need to, and that's what made them so great because you didn't need to know what movie they were basically lampooning. And but but the first proper horror film I watched was Nightmare on Elm Street.
Ooh.
And then my mum brought, I think I was like 12, and I asked for like the videos or DVDs.
Nice.
And she didn't see a problem because they were so old and cheesy, she said, so she didn't think they were scary. So I got those, and then afterwards I just binged Friday the 13th. So when I was like 12 and 13, I had all like the horror movie franchises on DVD. So I was like, obsessed.
Aw. You had supportive parents that kind of helped your dreams. So that's awesome. I mean, I did at one point. Unfortunately, I'm on bad terms with my parents now, but my dad influenced my love of horror. Mine was also Nightmare on Elm Street because my dad was a huge Freddy guy.
Yeah.
Kind of same thing happened. We end up thrifting and finding a shit ton of these, like, packs of VHS tapes that were either people were getting rid of because DVDs started sliding in. So it was like the pickings were great. Back when, like, mom and pop stores started fading out, video stores and stuff like that. So, like, you could grab some really cool stuff at the time.
Yeah, because I met Robert England at a convention as well, and I got him to sign my DVD box set.
Oh, that's so awesome. Cool.
And I was standing up queuing, and he had the glove, and he went, rah! And the metal flew out into the crowd, and it was real metal. And almost hit someone.
Oh my God.
I'd be like, all right, just take it out. That's cool. Now you got to sign me.
Now you got to sign it.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah. What about you, Lydia?
Yes.
Oh, no, sorry.
No,
I was quite late to the game with horror. I got all of my film recommendations were from my mum. She introduced me to really good films like Pulp Fiction, and then she showed me The Shining, and that blew my mind, visually and
that's cool,
scare wise. But I didn't really get into horror for a long time, even though I was like a hardcore goth. I was a bit scared of horror movies, and then it wasn't until I met James where he sat me down and he was like, "Right, we're going to watch Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street," and I realized that they could be campy and fun. And then just visually, like the film posters of horror, they're always the best looking. And from there, it's just got bigger and bigger. And now I've joined in with collecting with James. And
that's awesome.
But both our favorite horror films are both Scream and The Shining.
Yeah, we visited the Shining Inspiration Hotel in Yosemite, the Awani Hotel.
That's cool.
And
it looks identical.
It was amazing.
That's cool.
Yeah, the carpet, the tribal things around the
elevator, everything was because they obviously they filmed it in England, but they used that hotel as the inspiration. So that was amazing.
Have you all seen it's been circling around on the internet, but the behind the scenes for the door scene with Jack Nicholson, how he pumps himself up, he's smoking a cigarette and then he's jumping and he's like getting into character. It's like, whoa, dude, I could totally do that.
Yeah,
I could be a psycho. But it's totally wow, that's really cool.
Because he was too strong for it, wasn't he? They had to give him a real axe and
because they had prop doors, but because he was a volunteer fireman, he just destroyed the doors. So then they had to bring in real doors for him to break.
To me that makes sense because I look like how would I act, and I would put myself in that, and a prop door I would just walk through. I would destroy that thing. So
full Jason.
I know. And I do things way too hard anyway. Around my house I'm called Wreck-It Ralph because anything I touch I literally do it too hard and I break it. So I would have that problem too. So we do in our movie, it's got to be real shit.
Yep.
Otherwise I'm just gonna destroy it.
I will keep that in mind. But tell me a little bit about who came up with this. This is an awesome cover.
Really good for a book cover. Really good for a book cover.
Stephen King-ish looking. It definitely gives those old Stephen King book vibes.
We have to keep it simple, but not too simple. Yeah. And you have to keep it eye-catching, but not too over the top that you're looking at 50 different things. And I think that's what that does really well. Good color mixture. It also is intriguing too with
Yeah, with the clipboard all covered in blood. That is good.
Yeah, we wanted to tell a story basically. And they say don't judge a book by its cover, but we all kind of do, don't we? And we were inspired by Goosebumps covers because they're so imaginative and you just see on a shelf, you want to pick it up and read it.
Yeah.
And we kind of want to do an adult version of that. And originally we wanted to do the front cover was going to be like a retro 80s Friday the 13th type cover with like the plucky jumping through the screen with a candy cane shiv
and then painted faces of like the final girl.
Like a matte painting style. And then we thought we changed our mind and we worked with a really great artist called
Andrew Swainson.
And then we basically gave him what we had in mind in our heads, and he could just replicated it perfectly. But yeah, we're really proud of how the cover turned out.
Yeah. He was a very talented artist. He did like reimaginings of the Jaws poster, and there's tons. But he's
Jurassic Park.
Yeah, Jurassic. His colors, like he really had that 80s kind of look as well that we wanted.
Yeah, because originally the cover was in the daylight, and then I was like, oh yeah, perfect. And then Lydia saw it, was like, no, it doesn't look like a horror book. Yeah. So he's like, let's change it to dusk, and then you help change the colors and.
It's like purple and yellowy lime, really. Yeah. Mm-hmm. They speak quite horror. Yeah.
I love purple and yellow together.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I really do.
Yeah. It's so good.
Oh, gosh, thank you.
I love it. So are you planning on doing any more horror novels or a sequel?
If the book does well, we'll love to do a sequel just called Script to Screen Take 2.
That's
perfect.
And we do have a big idea in mind of how we want to do it, but it just all depends on how well it does, really, just because this took so long to do. Mm-hmm. But I think because we've got the experience now, we could probably get it done a lot quicker. But obviously we have our YouTube channels and the baby and stuff. Mm-hmm. But we do want to do another horror. I personally want to stay in horror and only stay in horror, just because that's what I love reading. That's what I love writing. So the other one we had in mind is about like Disney adults. So we're going to do a horror take on that.
Yeah.
And but I think Lydia wants to do a children's book, don't you?
Yeah, because our baby was born 3 months early, very premature. She was in hospital for a month and a half. So I would like to do like a book for parents also have preemies. Just basically the whole messaging is, I can't wait to meet you. And it would be about the baby being like, I can't wait to meet you.
That's awesome.
But yeah, like it'll be, but that'll be like non-profit. I'd probably just make it, print it, and then just give it to hospitals or something. Sure. But that'll be one of my goals next year, I think.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That would be really cool. And I can't wait to see who you pair up with if it's like a picture book or something like that.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, definitely. I'll have to go looking.
That's so cool. Let's see here.
How can people purchase your book?
Thank you.
Or how and where?
So you can buy it on Amazon. It's available pretty much most countries, America, Canada, Europe. And just type in Script to Screen into Amazon and it should come up. For a while, it's been the #1 new release in horror slashers. And it's from an indie publisher, so they haven't printed that many. So
that's awesome.
If you want a copy, please do it now, because it might not be around for. We're not too sure if they're going to do another print run. So
I see.
Make sure you get your copy today.
Yeah, absolutely. Awesome. And we'll definitely put links up so that way people can buy their copies. And this would make a perfect Christmas gift. You got the horror fan in your life, give them this book because it's well worth it.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course. And then we actually have a local bookstore in town that they will actually, if you ask them to order something for you, they will do that. So if you go through your local bookstore, ask them to order it, you're not only supporting local, but you're also supporting James and Lydia. So,
absolutely.
Yeah, we put our book at our local bookstore as well. That's just opened up, and we gave them free copies, and they've sold out already, which is amazing.
That's awesome.
That is so awesome. I'm so happy for you guys. That's so cool. You. I hope that I can try to convince our guys to, get this on their shelves.
I'll just threaten them.
Yeah. Please don't do that on First Friday, dressed as Krampus. Go for it.
No. But yeah, no, that is a great idea because, your local bookstore will carry it too. And it's important both. So
now, do you guys ever do conventions?
Would
you mean as a guest?
Yes.
I think we'll be too scared no one will show up.
Yes.
You just got to put yourself out there. We do events and stuff, and it's like, because I used to be a musician, so like I've toured and done cities where it's like nobody knows you and you're like the underact, and then you're like, oh, okay. And I've literally had to be like, all right, guys, this is a live practice,
Yes.
But then once you kind of get kicked in the teeth doing that, it becomes so much easier. So, I would say you just got to put yourself out there and do it. And we vend local conventions around here, and there's a knack to it. You definitely have to flip your social switch, because a lot of people, when you're not well known, will kind of like breeze by.
Like, look at you for a second and be like, oh, you're a horror.
Yeah, and I'll turn up my charm. I'll put my weirdest shirt on.
Yeah.
To and the last convention we were at, there was a lady that I was talking to, and she asked permission to see my inner thigh. Because I have a chop top tattoo on my thigh going.
Yep.
And she all asked my girlfriend, is it okay if he shows me? And she's like, yeah, I don't care. And so, I'm here lifting up my shorts and stuff.
You whore.
I know, it's all right. Just a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're fun. My girlfriend vends, so she has like a side business. And so like I collect stuff. So we're going to do the tours next year where I'm just going to sell like merchandise, different like toys and things like that. And then she does crocheted characters. So she's in the process of writing her own pattern. She can buy her stuff, download the pattern, and then create it anytime. So we're going to probably doing some vending stuff. So yeah, it is a little bit scary because you're like, I don't think anyone's going to buy any of my shit.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
when we submitted our book to the bookstore, she said, do you want to hold an event here? And we were like, we would, but we're not. We work in our office. We're little hermits in here.
Yeah, we haven't seen anyone.
We need to get out there, I think. We need to get a tan and get some sunlight.
Yeah. I think you're doing the right thing, though. Definitely keeping it local for now.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially with the baby and stuff like that. Totally makes sense. But
hopefully at some point you'll branch out, because we'd really like to get ours signed.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So tell us about where we can find you on social media. I think we kind of covered it a little bit, but just in case, so that way we can throw those subscriptions up there.
Yeah, so on Simpsons, our Simpsons YouTube channel, our Instagram is @Simpsons Theory. On YouTube, we're The Simpsons Theory, and on YouTube we've got Lydia Loves Timelines as well as another YouTube channel. We've got a lot of socials, and then an author one. If you want to follow that one, that's James Lydia Hicks.
James and Lydia Hicks.
Yes, maybe it's one of those. One of those.
You'll get it. Just punch it in.
Yeah. And definitely the James and Lydia Hicks one seems to be a little bit more personal.
Yes.
And it's always sweet. I love that post that you had with your baby out at the pumpkin. The pumpkin farm. I thought that was the sweetest thing ever.
Oh, thank you.
Yes. You guys are such a cute little family. So, and then last question, because my husband and I are huge Simpsons fans, as we established already. Since you also are Simpsons fans, you talked about Treehouse of Horror. Do you have a particular favorite episode or segment? And, as a bonus to that, is there an actual episode of The Simpsons that isn't horror, but it has horror themes that you would recommend to anybody?
Sorry.
You go ahead.
Okay, I was going to say, my favourite segment is Homer Cubed, which is a parody of Poltergeist, isn't it?
I love Poltergeist.
Yes.
I think it's one of the most underrated franchises. I say that all the time. I love Poltergeist. I grew up on that and Phantasm. That's what I grew up on.
So good. And in the scene where Homer goes into the dimension, it's a 3D dimension. And I think it was the first time The Simpsons did a special effect, oh my god, like graphic design,
3D, yeah.
I don't know. And that just blew my mind. It went from 2D Homer to 3D Homer, and it just looked like a video game. And as a kid, that always stuck with me. And then he was blasted into the real world, into like a random street in LA. And then it was only after doing the YouTube channel we looked into the making of it, and the making of it was as interesting. Like, apparently it was so expensive to make that Fox didn't want to give them more money to actually do the live action scene.
Oh, wow.
So the producers had to kind of do a makeshift scene at the end on the boulevard where they couldn't really regulate anything. So there's a big line of traffic waiting for them while they're just trying to film this scene. But Homer would see the... Yeah. But yeah, that just always blew my mind and stuck with me as a kid.
Yeah,
So-
my favorite is the Shinem. I can't remember which. She has Horror 5, I think.
Yeah.
You want to get
And
sued?
like obviously, I love that as well when I didn't know the Shining. Now I love the Shining. Now it's even funnier.
Is that so? I'm not as Simpsons versed, but is that the one where the Scottish guy?
Yep, Willie.
Yeah. So that is I haven't seen a ton of Simpsons, but that's my favorite one. I just remember the Scottish guy Willie, and just that's my favorite one.
I like that each of his segments he somehow dies.
Yes.
What's your favorite?
Oh man, so I'm kind of doing old school, but I also have one that I like that's from the newer seasons, and it's also because of my son. My son really likes The Simpsons too.
Oh.
It's technically our Krusty doll. It's the good and evil Krusty,
Nice.
Oh, I love that one.
but it is about beat to shit because he loves it so much, and he has a thing for clowns. So, with that being said, my favorite one is this one.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
So
I love that one.
yeah, I do like, and I love Chucky. I'm a huge Chucky fan.
Yeah, same.
Nerd.
Yeah.
So like that was perfect. And so the fact that my son is into this is awesome. He loves being able to switch it from good to evil. That's his favorite thing ever.
We need one.
Yeah, get two. Because we do have one that's still in the box because we're collectors, but then we have this one that Casper can throw down the steps and do whatever he needs to do with it.
I love the name Casper as well. That's awesome.
Thank you. It is the German spelling, but you know why we named him Casper.
Yes.
And it's kind of funny too because when we have a girl, we are planning, praying that it's a little girl next time. If it isn't, it's fine. But her name is going to be Lydia.
Oh.
And our last name is Dietz. So,
Amazing.
yeah,
Wow.
like if we don't name her Lydia, we're committing a goth crime. But the other newer episode that I really like, again, has to do with clowns. I also like clowns. I think I passed that on to my son. But Casper really likes the It special.
Yeah.
That's a really good one.
Not It. And it is so well done.
It is so well done.
The more I think about each of the characters that they put in the roles of the Losers Club cast, I'm like, well, why did you do that at first? And then I'm like, wait, no, that makes a lot of sense. For each of those characters, even Comic Book Guy, which you don't see him show up a lot, as a main cast thing. And I wish they'd do that more often. I wish they'd also use Otto more often. He's my man.
Same.
I love that guy.
Yeah.
I know, Lydia, you're partial to Fat Tony, and
Yes.
Fat Tony is awesome. I love him too. But yeah, so those would be my favorites. But do you have any that are kind of creepy, episodes that aren't Treehouse of Horror that you could recommend to somebody?
There's that episode, Mr. Burns' baby bear Bobo.
Rosebud.
Yeah, Rosebud. There's a scene at the end that really freaked me out as a kid, and it was it's set in the future where Mr. Burns and Smithers are on the moon or something, and all of a sudden Smithers is like a tiny robot dog, and Mr. Burns' head is in a goldfish bowl or something. And there's a bit where they're running after something, and there's some really mechanical, scary music as they're running away.
Wait for me, sir.
I don't know if it was horrifying to me, but that is the only scene that can really, I don't know, that just really freaked me out.
No, that's valid.
James probably has a far more sophisticated answer than me.
I think the one that comes to mind is the Springfield Files. Even though it's probably more sci-fi, but that's always horror adjacent.
The one
X-Files parody. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. It's Burns. He's alienish in that one episode.
I think
He's glowing.
that sounds familiar.
Yeah.
That sounds familiar.
It's really good.
That's a better answer.
I think a really good one too that's not necessarily horror, but it's horror-ish, is Some Enchanted Evening.
Yeah.
Something,
you're right.
something about that episode still kind of freaks me out a little bit, but also is so good. And I can't tell if it's just the animation because it was done overseas and they were really freaking out about it because the whole backstory with that. And Lydia, you might know more about that.
That was supposed to be the first episode, I believe, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That's why like some of the animation looks so fluid.
Yeah.
There's a part where like with the
Lucille Boskowski.
her animation looks like so smooth, and then obviously because the early animation was quite a little bit janky.
They need to bring her back, really. Like,
They do. I mean, rest in peace. Her voice actress has passed, but they still could bring her back.
Yes.
Yeah, because it was Laverne from Laverne and Shirley.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. She really did a good job with that voice too. Like it was just freaky, just the way she ties up the kids and like she starts going after Maggie, and it's like, you're really gonna go after a baby? You're crazy.
No, I feel like the older episodes were far more riskier in that sense. I don't know, a bit more gritty, I think.
Yeah.
Because they had lots of like themes about quite dark things, like Homer was thinking about taking his own life, and that was
he
like
almost killed himself. Like that.
Yes.
Oh, looks like young Simpson is going to kill himself.
No, maybe not. Maybe he's just taking his boulder for a walk.
Oh.
Yeah, in a kids TV show or like something. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's cool. I love geeking out about Simpsons with other Simpsons people because like some people don't get it. Some people are like, oh, that cartoon? You mean those cartoon characters actually have like personalities? I'm like, yeah, it's been on the show, been on the air for a long time.
Forever.
These characters have personalities, they have lives. And the fact that they did that one thing with Mayor Quimby recently is just like, oh, okay, I take that.
Yeah, we're going to do a new timeline on him because of that episode.
Yeah.
I was going to say that really throws a lot of things into it.
Yeah.
They do that all the time. We're like, damn it, that video is like aged really badly.
Yeah, we'll do like a timeline and like the complete timeline of Homer Simpson, and in the next week they'll bring out a new flashback episode that changes everything.
Yeah. It's got
Oh, well, because he has a dog now that I didn't know about.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's cool. Thank you. I want to say
Yes, absolutely.
thank you guys so much again. This has been wonderful meeting you guys.
No, thank you so much for having us. It's been lovely to meet you too.
It's been so fun.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and we honestly feel honored to have you guys here. I mean, we say that about a lot of our guests, but you guys are huge. So it's like
and it's always good to, meet fellow creatives. With it's not every day that, you guys have more depth. You're just, I don't want to say like a one-trick pony, but the fact that you're doing a horror book and you have the YouTube channels and all that sort of stuff is really cool. Because we understand, how busy you must be, especially with the new baby and all that stuff. So we really appreciate you guys, taking time with us.
yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for asking us.
Absolutely.
And especially with the time differences while you guys are in the UK. So we do appreciate you kind of fitting with our schedule.
Yeah, so this is the only time we could do it because it's when the baby's asleep. So it works out great.
It worked out perfect.
Oh, good.
Sweet.
Well,
All right,
you guys again. And with that being
said, look out for each other and good night, cellar dwellers. Bye-bye.